Hello everybody, this is Hammer Striker here. Got a couple 380s on the table today. I've got the Walther CCP M2 and I got the Smith Wesson Shield EZ. Please don't forget to check out our website. Go to our affiliates page. You'll find discount codes for things like Mantis Axe and Core belts. Link to that cool little bore light that we use for lighting up the barrels. Use those links. It will often save you money, never will cost you any additional money, and helps the channel. And please consider supporting the channel on Player, formerly Utreon, where we can do some types of videos that are no longer allowed on YouTube. Both of these are single stack 380s. We'll start with the Walther, which is unloaded. Both of these are designed to be easy to rack and easy to use with somebody with compromised hand strength or somebody with totally normal hands. They have less recoil, of course, because they're 380. And this one, by the way, has a magazine disconnect, which disables it unless the magazine is in it. Without the magazine, trigger's dead. I don't like magazine disconnects, but once the magazine's in, that's kind of out of the picture. But as far as easy to rack, they're designed to be really easy to rack, and one way I can show it is if I grab it with my thumb and my little finger. That one finger kind of wants to come in, but I can almost do it without it. When I show you the Smith, you'll see that one's a little easier to rack. It's got a Picatinny rail. It's got a really ergonomic, this Walther grip is kind of a contoured grip. A little bit of plumpness to it. And it does fit nicely in the hand, and you can see that I've got basically a 3-finger grip. If I put the magazine in with the little pinky extender on it, I've got a full 3-finger grip. And I'm way up there, away from the slide, so that beaver tail cutout, it's almost impossible to get slide bit by this thing. So I'm going to put that down, talk about the Smith for a bit, and then start to compare what's different between them. And as you can see, you could just see probably right from there that racking it is much easier. Do the 2-finger thing. I can do it with that little finger, that other finger wanting to move around, but never actually touching the gun. So if you're looking for the absolute lightest, this would be it. This one comes in close. And of course, both of these are a lot easier to rack than your typical gun like a Glock or any of the others out there. The grip on this has got a nice texture, but it's basically flat. It's just kind of an oval. No real contour to it. It does have a grip safety. Does not have a magazine disconnect. And I've worked with several of these Smith & Wessons with this grip safety. I've never had a case where the gun failed to fire when I had it properly gripped because of that grip safety. NDZ does make replacements for these that kind of get rid of that little bump at the back. You see how it kind of protrudes? You can get one that flattens it out a little bit and this protrusion is gone if you find that it bites into the web of your hand, which it doesn't for me, but if it does for you, you could get rid of that. This has more of a beaver tail extension than a full cutout, but just like the CCP, it'd be near impossible to get slide bit by this. And it has a Picatinny rail as well. You're going to find from a feature perspective, they're pretty similar. So the Walther comes with 2 of these 8-round magazines. As I mentioned, it's a single stack. Magazines are fairly easy to load. The Smith comes with 2 of these 8-round magazines. Again, single stack. However, these are even easier to load because they have this little thing that sticks out that allows you to pull the follower down to make it even easier to load. So the Smith & Wesson has kind of gone all in on the EZ part of it to make it as easy as possible for anybody to load, maintain, and operate it. One of the things I will call out is the takedown procedure. So you may have heard that the CCP's takedown procedure is absolutely hideous. And absolutely hideous would fit the original version. You had this hole in the back, you had this little tool you had to do, and you had to stick the tool in here just right, hold the tool while you pulled it back, and it was kind of a nightmare. They've resolved that with this one. They've got this little switch, and it replaces that tool and having to hold it into the hole just right. And the switch is designed, it would be near impossible for you to activate it by accident in your holster or while you're drawing. So you don't have to worry about it self-disassembling because of that. So they've really improved that a lot. It's still, you have to, once you activate the switch, you still have to pull the slide back up and over. It's kind of an old style blowback gun. If you want to see how that works on both the old and the new, we're going to link the full reviews to both versions of this as well as the Smith & Wesson in the video. But what I will say is don't let what you've heard about the CCP's takedown procedure steer you away from it. unless they're actually talking about the new version and you still don't like it. In that case, then it's not for you, it would be for somebody else. Smith is more conventional. It comes apart like any of the Smith & Wessons. Lock it back, flip this down. There's a lever you can use if you want to manually deactivate the sear, or you can let the slide come forward, pull the trigger and slide it off. It'll work either way. So this comes apart like any other of the modern Smith & Wesson M&P series. The Shield, the regular M&Ps, any of them. From a versions perspective, this one that you see here comes in the color pattern you see, black with silver. There's also a blue and silver, and there is black on black. So the CCP comes in 3 different varieties. There's about 7 varieties of this, including a purple frame one and a performance center, which kind of ups the game on the trigger and a bunch of other stuff. So there's about 7 varieties of these. From a safety perspective, this one has the mag disconnect. This has the grip safety. Both of these this one has a thumb safety as you see it here, and that's the only version. They all have thumb safeties. The Smith & Wesson, you can get it with or without the thumb safety. I'm not a fan of thumb safety, so I got it without. And you can almost see kind of the outline where they would cut it out if you bought the version that had the thumb safety. They have the internal drop safeties, but neither of these has the inertial toggle on the trigger or hinge trigger or any kind of inertial safety. You see the triggers just pull, there's no hinging. I do prefer inertial toggles. It's one extra layer of security. But both of these have shown to be drop safe. I haven't heard of either one of these having drop fire issues. So they're designed to be drop safe, and the information I have says they are. From an MSRP perspective, they're very close. So the MSRP on the CCP is $4.99 for all 3 varieties. The MSRP on this one ranges from about $4.50 for the basic version you see here, up to about $5.80 if you get into the ported Performance Center version of them. So they're very comparable. This one, of course, the price will vary depending on which level you choose, but you can get these MSRP-wise comparable. As far as what you're going to find them for, I'm sure you'll find both of these available out on the open market, significantly less than MSRP. That's typical. Let's talk dimensions. So put the magazine in both of them and set them side by side. So what you're going to see is, from a grip height perspective, they're very close. So the Walther is 5.12 inches and the Smith & Wesson is 4.98, and that really gets into just a little bit extra that the base plate sticks up. They're so close as to it not to matter. It's almost hard to see the difference. The Smith is a little flatter, the Walther's got more of a tilt to it, so it's kind of lower at the back. But when you're talking about height of the gun, really you're talking about can you avoid printing the grip, and both of these are going to be about the same. From a length perspective, the Smith is a hair longer. It's 6.7 instead of 6.4. Again, kind of an inconsequential difference. Their barrels are about the same length. The Walther has a 3.5 inch barrel. The Smith has a 3.7 inch barrel. Not going to make a difference in velocity or reliability or accuracy. Nothing that's going to matter. The one place they do vary more noticeably is thickness. So the Smith is thinner than the Walther. Smith comes in at 1.04. The Walther is 1.18. So if you're looking for the thinnest, you're going to go with the Smith. The thickness difference isn't significant enough that alone would pivot you, but if you've got a couple factors, and then the one last factor is that the Smith is thinner, it may take you in that direction. As I mentioned, they both hold 8 rounds, and they both have 3-dot sights. I found the sights easy to use on both of these. What I will say is the Smith sights are just a little bigger, so if you have eye issues, you may find it a little easier to see the Smith sights than the Walther. The dots are kind of tinier. But both of these worked well at the range. And from a reliability perspective, both of these are reliable. They both work well. The Smith has more of a track record with this series of guns, not necessarily in 380, but just in general, manufacturing this basic concept. The CCP is kind of a diversion for Walther. It's not similar to the PPQ or PDP or any of the other guns that they've got out there. It's kind of all off on its own. One thing I will say is both of these are high-quality manufacturers, and I believe both of these are high-quality guns. But the Smith seems to just feel more robust and solid. It's just when you handle it and everything else, it just has more of a feel of solidness. But other than that, both of these should be very high-quality guns. From a trigger perspective, this is the trigger on the Smith. A little bit of take up to get to the wall. Kind of a short, crisp, very defined wall. It's very light. There's the reset, just a hair of take up to get back on the wall, and then a break. A nice trigger. It's actually got quite a nice trigger. Now let's look at the CCP's trigger. This one will be a little kludgier to do because I pop the mag, cycle it, put the mag back in. But there's the take up to get to the wall. Kind of a longer pull through the wall. Longish reset. It's all the way out and then the break. This has a nice light trigger, but I would say the Smith & Wesson overall has a better trigger. One other place the Smith & Wesson's kind of winning the specifications game is weight. So the Smith is 18.5 ounces, and it has a steel slide. The Walther comes in at 19.4 ounces, so just under an ounce difference, and it's got an alloy slide. So it's actually kind of surprising that overall the Smith is lighter, but they're close enough. An ounce may or may not make the difference for what you're trying to do with this. If you're shaving ounces, you're talking about ankle guns and something like that, you're probably looking smaller than this. These are most likely going to be at some sort of an inside the waistband carry, and at that point, that 1 ounce may not make enough of a difference to matter. However, what's going to end up happening is you handle both, try them both, see which one feels better to you. So overall, kind of in summary, despite them being very close in all of the different numbers, I probably would choose the Smith & Wesson. That, for me, would be the overall winner of the two. But it's not landmark. It doesn't blow the CCP away. But overall, when I factor all things in, all things considered, I kind of would take this one over the Walther. And I'll show you the other side of the Walther. They're both nice-looking guns. And again, they're both quality manufacturers and quality guns, but this one, in my mind personally, if I were shopping and handling both of them, this one would pull ahead. Beyond that, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, click that bell up there to be notified if you do. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Play, or Rumble. We're pretty much everywhere. And thank you.